and then she was a little confused about all of those chief features, which are just each ego has some kind of pattern, where in the fourth way, that's a pattern of being where we are most asleep. Could be a controlling pattern, could be a vanity pattern, could be a fearful pattern, could be seduction, charming, manipulative pattern, could be willfulness pattern, could be being super nice pattern. So all of these are called in the fourth way features. And then the idea in the fourth way is that this false personality, separate self, it has a one or two core features and a chief feature where we are, it's like a compulsion, we fall into it and then we are asleep. And the idea in the fourth way that we got to, if we want to wake up and die as an imaginary being and be reborn, we really got to find our own chief feature, one or two, and observe it. And initially we can't do much about it because it's very strong, but then kind of resist it, meaning struggle with it, not go with that. So, and we had a whole talk where outlining the core features. So you ask me, well, but isn't this is a positive aspect of this feature? Is this, you were telling me that, Claudia was saying that, well, there's some positive aspect to this feature, and the negative aspect of this feature is this, and the positive aspect of this feature is this, and the negative aspect of this is this, yeah? And yeah, so what I wanted to say about that is that, so you have a point here, there is a point here that we didn't touch on Sunday, is that these features, this pattern, they are in personality. The way now we observe this, kind of talking about myself and this vanity or being a good boy, seeking approval. This mechanical goodness is basically being a people pleaser and being a good boy, a good girl. Yeah. So anyway, so all of these are in personality, and however, they in our essence, as we were as a child, we have this body type, and the body type has certain tendency, which in itself is not bad. In itself is a certain tendency, and it is good. For instance, the Saturn, anyway, some type in initially is more like they are good at explaining, and they can see the bigger picture, and they have some innate leadership somehow. And now this later becomes, the ego becomes wrapped up around this, and then it becomes dominance. Yes. Becomes like, I know better, people are incompetent, everybody should listen to me, I know what's right, and I want to control everything. And so that's, we are talking about now vanity could be some kind of, some types could be like, they like to do things well, they are kind of enjoying a certain kind of connection and a certain interaction, and there's some sense of, but then later this becomes like, oh man, I'm so much better than you guys, and I'm arrogant, and then look at me, and so that is in personality, that becomes the vanity. So all the types, and we haven't got into the types, and I don't want to go into types. All of them, they have a certain kind of initial tendency that is a flavor. Some are more like, hey, it's more withdrawn. They're more like quiet, inward, tend to be meticulous. Yeah, and that can become later fear feature and lunatic. So I resonate with what you said there. However, using this, positive and negative, this is really not useful for our work at all. And what is positive from our point of view is what is helps awakening. Only what helps awakening is helpful and is good. What prevents awakening and keeps us asleep is bad and negative. So that's very important here. It's not some kind of, oh, but the mechanical goodness is good because you are sweet and nice. No, it's not good at all. That person is totally running some programs where they are going against themselves and they are compromising, they can't say no. And yeah, they are sweet and friendly, but then they have cancer. And I know people like that, and they die because all their life they went against themselves. So positive and good. Actually, in Beelzebub, Gurdjieff was saying that one of the worst things, that terrible distortions in the history of humanity was the invention of this good and evil. That is like really, really was hurt the psychic of humans for so long. So